What if I told you that there is a major US city where you can buy a beautiful home with a yard for under $400,000, bike to work year-round, catch a Broadway show on Tuesday night, and be kayaking by Thursday evening on a pristine lake, all while enjoying a six-figure salary at one of our Fortune 500 companies headquartered right here? Probably think I'm talking about some fantasy city that doesn't exist, but I'm not. I'm talking about Minneapolis, Minnesota. And by the end of this video, you are going to see why it might just be the best kept secret in America. Hey everyone, my name is Mackenzie Rasmus, and I'm a real estate advisor here in the Twin Cities with Engel & Volkers, right up there. And I've been helping people find their perfect home in Minneapolis for years now. And I've seen firsthand how this city transforms people's lives. Whether you're a young professional that is tired of paying $3,000 for a studio apartment, which is nuts, a family looking for great schools and a safe neighborhood, or someone who just wants to live somewhere that actually makes sense financially, then this video is for you. Now, before we dive in, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell, because I'm going to be sharing tons of information about the Twin Cities market and what it's really like to live here. Now, I know what you might be thinking, Minneapolis, Mackenzie, isn't that where it's cold all the time? And trust me, I hear this from clients constantly. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand why that reputation is not only wrong, but why Minneapolis is actually one of the most livable cities in America. So grab a cup of coffee, preferably from one of our amazing local roasters like Spy House or 5 Watt, and let's dive into why Minneapolis might just be the location for your next home. So let's talk about probably what brought you here, the job opportunities. So Minneapolis is home to 19 Fortune 500 companies. Yep, that's right, 19. I'm not even sure if I can count that high. We're talking about major players like Target, Best Buy, General Mills, 3M. They invented the Post-it note. Did you know that, by the way? And United Health Group. But here's what really makes this special. These aren't just corporate headquarters that employ a bunch of executives. They are a company that are deeply rooted here, and they employ thousands of people across all skill levels. Target alone employs over 8,500 people at their Minneapolis headquarters. But it's not just about the big corporations. The Twin Cities has one of the most diverse economies in the country. We've got thriving tech startups, companies like Zipnosis, which was acquired by Bright Health, or Code 42, which provides cybersecurity to major corporations worldwide. Our healthcare sector is absolutely booming. Beyond United Health Group, we have Medtronic, Boston Scientific, and countless other healthcare startups. If you're in healthcare, biotech, or medical devices, Minneapolis is becoming the Silicon Valley of healthcare innovation. Except we can actually afford to live here. The unemployment rate consistently runs below the national average, and the median household income is slightly higher than most major metropolitan areas. Plus, Minnesota has some of the best worker protections and benefits in the country. I'm gonna humble brag for a second. Minnesota was one of the first states to guarantee paid family leave. And here's something that might surprise you. We're becoming a major tech hub. Companies like Google, Amazon, Facebook all have significant operations here. Google has a major office in Minneapolis, and Amazon has multiple fulfillment centers, plus their advertising division right here in the Twin Cities. The fintech scene is exploding. Companies like Alliance Life, Ameriprise Financial, and newer players like Pollen are all based here. And it's because the cost of doing business here is completely reasonable. The talent pool is educated. We have some of the highest rates of college graduates in the nation, and the work-life balance is something that you will not find in coastal cities. So I work regularly with clients relocating here from the area, New York, and Seattle, specifically because they can maintain their career trajectory while actually having a life outside of work, something that is very important. So now let's talk about something everyone cares about, which is what it actually costs to live here. And this is where Minneapolis becomes incredibly compelling. Compared to cities like San Francisco, New York, or Seattle, Minneapolis offers incredible value. The median home price here is roughly half of what you'd pay in those markets, but you're not sacrificing quality or amenities. So let's give you some real numbers from my recent sales. So for $400,000, you can get a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, single-family home with a yard in neighborhoods like Longfellow, Seward, or parts of Northeast. Try finding that in Denver, Portland, Austin. You would be looking for that same $400,000 house, you'd be looking at $600,000 to $800,000 for something comparable. So I just helped a client relocate from Seattle who sold a 1,200 square foot condo there for $750,000 and bought a 2,400 square foot home here with a garage and a yard for $450,000. So that's not unusual. And if you're looking to rent, which by the way, I am one of those realtors, will absolutely tell you if it makes sense for you. Sometimes it actually does make sense to rent and save up money prior to actually then investing in real estate. If you're looking to rent a 1-bedroom in a nice area like the North Loop or Uptown, that'll cost you anywhere from $1,400 to $1,800 respectively, compared to $3,000 in the coastal cities. A 2-bedroom in a great neighborhood, you're looking at $1,800 to $2,500 depending on the amenities. But here's the key. It's not just that things cost less. The value proposition is incredible. See, your money goes further here, which actually then makes you want to enjoy the city's amenities, save for the future, or maybe even buy that lake cabin every Minnesotan dreams of. Oh yeah. So property taxes are reasonable. We're talking about $4,000 to $8,000 annually for most homes, depending on the value and location. We don't have clothing or food taxes, so your everyday expenses are lower. And while yes, income taxes are higher than some states, the services and infrastructure you get in return make it absolutely worth it. This is a conversation that I have with my clients all the time. It's not what you pay or what you earn, it is the cash flow and value that you get for that in the long run that actually makes your life enjoyable or not. So let me put this into perspective. The average tech worker relocating here from San Francisco sees their housing costs drop anywhere from 50 to 60%, while their salary might only decrease from 10 to 20% depending on if they have a cost of living adjustment or if they're switching to a different employer. That's a massive quality of life improvement right there. Speaking of infrastructure, let's talk about the quality of life, because this is where Minneapolis really shines, and you'll understand why people who move here never want to leave, or frankly, people that were born here never want to leave.
They try coming back, but Minnesota just keeps reeling them back.
First, let's talk about the outdoor lifestyle, which is absolutely unmatched for a major metropolitan area. We have over 200 parks within the city limits, and that includes the famous chain of lakes. But it's not just that we have parks, it's how integrated they are into daily life. You can literally live downtown and be kayaking on a pristine lake within 10 minutes. The Grand Round Scenic Byway is a major 50-mile loop of interconnected parkways and trails that circle the entire city. You can bike, run, or walk from downtown to multiple lakes through beautiful neighborhoods and back without ever leaving the park system. How cool is that? The bike infrastructure here is incredible. We have more miles of bike lanes per capita than almost any major city. The Midtown Greenway is a 5.5-mile bike highway that runs east-west through the city, and it's completely separated from car traffic. You can bike to work year-round if you want to, and yes, if you're crazy, even in winter. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room, because I know this is what everybody asks about. Yes, it gets cold. But here's what I tell all my clients who are worried about this. Minnesotans have figured out how not to just survive the winter, but actually thrive in it. So we have the most extensive skyway system in the world, over 11 miles of heated, enclosed walkways connecting 80 blocks of downtown. You can live, work, shine, dine, and be entertained without ever going outside during the coldest months. I brought a client here once and they said it reminded them of a gerbil's playground. And now that they said that, I can't unsee it, and I am sharing that with you. You're welcome. But more importantly, we embrace winter. There's ice fishing on the lakes, cross-country skiing through the parks, the St. Paul Winter Carnival, pond hockey tournaments, and some of the coziest bars and restaurants you'll ever experience. Minnesotans know how to hygge, which is that Danish concept of cozy contentment, better than anyone. And here's a secret, winter makes you appreciate everything else more. When spring arrives, the entire city just comes alive in a way that people in year-round warm climates never experience. And summer? Ho ho! Minnesota summers are absolutely perfect. Warm days averaging in the mid 70s to low 80s, cool nights perfect for sleeping, long daylight hours. We get nearly 16 hours of daylight in June, and everyone is outside making the most of it. The energy of this city during the summer is absolutely infectious. Every neighborhood has summer festivals, there are outdoor concerts constantly, the lakes are full of people swimming, paddleboarding, and sailing. It's like the entire city becomes one big outdoor party from May through September. So now let's talk about culture and entertainment, because Minneapolis punches way above its weight class here, and this may be the biggest surprise for people who haven't spent time in the city. Guys, we're the birthplace of Prince, and that musical legacy lives on in ways that go far beyond nostalgia. The music scene here is incredible and incredibly diverse. First Avenue, yes, that's that club that's featured in Purple Rain, is still going strong and regularly hosts major national acts alongside local talent. But the music scene here goes so much deeper. We have Paisley Park, obviously, but also venues like the Turf Club, 7th Street Entry, the Cedar Cultural Center, and dozens of smaller venues throughout the Twin Cities. The Minneapolis sound isn't just history, it's still being created every single night. Hip-hop culture, believe it or not, is huge here. We've produced artists like Atmosphere, Brother Ali, and more recently, Lizzo spent significant time here developing her sound. The local music scene is collaborative and supportive in a way that's rare in bigger cities. Now, the theater scene, something that rivals anything you'll find outside of New York. We have the most theater seats per capita outside of New York. The Guthrie Theater is world-renowned. It's this incredible 3-theater complex right on the Mississippi River with some of the most innovative productions you'll see anywhere. But we also have the Jungle Theater, Theater La Ti Da, Mixed Blood, and dozens of smaller theaters doing some cutting-edge work. The Walker Arts Center and Minneapolis Sculpture Garden are incredible. The Walker is one of the premier contemporary art museums in the country, and the Sculpture Garden is free and open to the public. The Spoon Bridge and Cherry sculpture has become an iconic symbol of the city. Ooh, okay, now that we're talking about that, let's talk about food, because the food scene here will absolutely blow your mind. We are way past the stereotype of hot dish and lepsa guys, though you should definitely try those while you are here. Minneapolis has James Beard Award winners like Isaac Becker, Tim McKay, and Ann Kim. Ann Kim's restaurants, Young Joni, Hello Pizza, and Pizzeria Lola have put Minneapolis pizza on the national map. We're talking about creative, world-class dining that competes with anyone in the country. But here's what makes it special. It's approachable. You can get an incredible meal at a nationally acclaimed restaurant for half of what you'd pay in New York or San Francisco. And the casual dining scene is also equally impressive. Now, the craft beer scene is absolutely phenomenal. We have over 150 breweries right here in the Twin Cities. Surly, Indeed, Fulton, Bauhaus, these are breweries that are distributed nationally and winning major awards. But you'll also find incredible neighborhood tap rooms where the brewers are often behind the bar and talking about their latest creation. The Juicy Lucy was invented here. That is a cheeseburger where the cheese is inside the patty. So they literally put cheese on it and then put another patty on it. And it is so good, guys. And it is a religious experience when done right. Matt's Bar and 5-8 Club have been arguing for years about who invented it. Like, this feud has been going on for decades, okay? And you need to try both in order to form your opinion. But you'll also find some of the best Somali, Vietnamese, Mexican, Ethiopian food in the country. The diversity of the food scene here reflects the diversity of the city, and the authenticity is something that you can taste. Sports fans, skol! We've got you covered. Minneapolis sports fans are legendary for their loyalty. We will follow you through the wins or the losses, mostly losses. We've got the core four, so Vikings, Twins, Timberwolves, and Wild. But we also have Minnesota United. Plus, we actually show up for our team. Target Field is consistently ranked one of the best ballparks in America, and US Bank Stadium hosted the Super Bowl just like a couple of years ago. The University of Minnesota Golden Gophers have a passionate following, and the state of hockey tournament brings the entire state together every March. I swear, during that couple of weeks where we have the state hockey tournament, the whole city shuts down. I mean, it's on TV, we all watch it, it's a thing. One of the things I love most, though, is how distinct and authentic each Minneapolis neighborhood feels. So let me take you on a virtual tour of some of the most popular areas where my clients are choosing to live. Northeast Minneapolis, or Northeast as we call it, was historically the working class, blue-collar heart of the city. Today, it's transformed into the arts district while maintaining its authentic character. You'll find converted warehouses that now are house art galleries, breweries like Indeed and Bauhaus, and restaurants that range from those James Beard Award winners to dive bars that have been serving the same burger for 50 years. I love it. And the housing stock here is incredible. You can find beautifully restored craftsman homes, modern lofts, and converted industrial buildings, and new construction that respects the neighborhood's character. It's where a lot of young professionals and artists are gravitating because it still feels affordable and authentic. The North Loop, this is the bougie part of town, is our downtown residential neighborhood, and it is absolutely booming. This used to be the warehouse district, and now these historic buildings have been converted into luxury condos and apartments. You're walking distance from Target Field, all the downtown theaters and restaurants, and you have that urban lifestyle that people are relocating from other major cities and what they're looking for. Uptown and the Wedge area are around the lakes, and this is classic Minneapolis. These are tree-lined streets with a mix of early 1900s homes and newer construction. Incredibly walkable, local businesses that have been community institutions for decades, and easy access to all of those beautiful lakes that I mentioned earlier. The Wedge Co-op has been a community institution since 1974, and it perfectly captures the neighborhood's vibe. I mean, it's environmentally conscious, they're community focused, and they're a little bit crunchy in the best possible way. If you're looking at St. Paul, and you should consider St. Paul, it's incredible. Highland Park is perfect for people that have kids, great schools, amazing houses that range from Tudor revivals to Ramblers, and that small town feel within the city. Grand Avenue is one of the best shopping and dining strips in the Twin Cities. Longfellow and Seaward are neighborhoods that exemplify Minneapolis values. They're diverse, community-oriented, and they are incredibly livable. These are areas where you'll find families who have been here for generations living next to young professionals who just moved from Brooklyn or Seattle. Yeah, Brooklyn, you know, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm all tough, but I always still want it to be a family area, you know? Okay, so now let's talk about something really important. So Minneapolis is one of the most diverse cities in the Midwest. And this diversity isn't just demographic, it's cultural. And that's what makes the city incredibly rich. We have one of the largest Somali populations in the United States, centered around the Cedar Riverside area, but it is spread throughout the city. The Somali community has brought incredible restaurants and businesses and cultural contributions. The West Bank area has kind of anecdotally been known as Little Mogadishu, and it's where you'll find some of the most authentic Somali food outside of East Africa. And the Hmong community is also equally significant. Minnesota has the second largest Hmong population in the United States. How cool is that? The influence on our food scene, the markets, our cultural significance has been incredibly profound. The Hmong village on University Avenue in St. Paul, it's like stepping into another world. Our Latino community is growing rapidly, particularly in neighborhoods like Frogtown or the west side of St. Paul. You'll find incredible Mexican, Colombian, Ecuadorian, and other Latin American restaurants and businesses. And here's also something really important. Minneapolis has consistently ranked as one of the most LGBTQ plus friendly cities in the country. The Twin Cities Pride Festival is one of the largest pride events in the country, and it's completely free. And the LGBTQ community is incorporated and integrated throughout the entire city. I mean, they're certainly not just concentrated in one area. And this diversity, it's celebrated. There are cultural festivals throughout the year, international markets, community centers, and a real sense that everyone contributes to make the city better. So if you're thinking about families and you already have kids, Minneapolis offers some incredible advantages that might not be immediately obvious to some. The public school system, like any urban district, has its challenges, but it also has some of the most nationally recognized programs and schools. Minneapolis has some of the most innovative and educational approaches in the country. Schools that are focused on environmental science, arts integration, dual language immersion, and STEM programs that are attracting attention from educators nationwide. But beyond traditional public schools, the options are absolutely incredible. Minnesota was one of the first states to allow charter schools, so we have decades of experience with educational innovation. There are charter schools focused on everything from Montessori education to language immersion to arts-focused curricula. Shout out St. Paul Conservatory. I graduated from an arts charter school, and I turned out pretty okay. The private school options are equally impressive. Blake School, Breck School, Holy Angels Academy. These are schools that are consistently ranked among the best in the region and send graduates to top universities nationwide. Higher education is a huge part of what makes Minneapolis special. The University of Minnesota Twin Cities campus is right here, and it's one of the top public research facilities in the country, consistently ranking in the top 70 universities. But it's not just about rankings. Having a major research university in the city means internship opportunities, cultural events, lectures, and that intellectual energy that comes with 50,000 students and world-class faculty. We also have Macalester College in St. Paul, which is consistently ranked as one of the top liberal arts colleges in the country. Hamline University, Augsburg University, the Minneapolis College of Art and Design. These are institutions that contribute to the intellectual and cultural life of cities in ways that benefit everyone. For families, the park system I mentioned earlier becomes even more important. Kids here grow up swimming in city lakes like Lake Harriet, Lake Calhoun, now called Butte-Mecoska. They learn to skate on outdoor rinks in winter, and they attend summer camps in city parks. And they develop a real love for the outdoors that shape who they become. And the children's theater scene here is incredible. Children's Theater Company is one of the most premier children's theater in the country. You have the Science Museum. They are world-class with an IMAX theater and traveling exhibitions that rival anything you'll find in much larger cities. Safety-wise, Minneapolis compares very favorably to other cities of similar size. The neighborhoods where most newcomers settle, Uptown, Northeast, North Loop, the areas around the lakes, are generally very safe. Like any city, you need to be aware of your surroundings and use common sense, but violent crime rates in these areas are well below the national averages. When I tell folks that are considering the move is that Minneapolis offers something unique. The cultural and education opportunities of a major metropolitan area combined with the lifestyle and community feel that is harder to find in the bigger cities. Kids can grow up going to world-class museums and theaters while also learning to canoe and cross-country ski practically in their backyard. Let me cover some practical considerations that always come up when people are thinking about relocating. Transportation here is actually much better than most people expect. We have the Metropolitan Light Rail system, which has two lines. The Blue Line, which connects Minneapolis-St. Paul International MSP Airport to downtown Minneapolis, and then we have the Green Line, which connects the two downtowns. And the Blue Line is getting an extension to Brooklyn Park, and that's under construction, and there are plans for additional extensions. The bus system here is extensive and reliable. We have express bus routes, local routes, and the bus rapid lines that function almost like light rail. If you live and work in the urban core, you can absolutely live car-free. Many of my clients that relocate from places like New York or San Francisco are actually surprised that you can live that car-free lifestyle here. But let's be honest, most people do have a car here because it does open up much of what Minnesota has to offer. And here's the good news. Traffic is manageable. Rush hour does exist, but we're talking about 20 to 30 minute commutes from the suburbs to downtown, not the hour-plus commutes you'll deal with in most major cities. Parking downtown is abundant and reasonable compared to other cities. Street parking, ramps, lots, it's all available, and you're not going to be paying $400 a month for a parking spot like you would in Manhattan. Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport is a major Delta hub, which means that you can get direct flights to almost anywhere in the world. Europe, Asia, most major US cities, it's all accessible. Plus, MSP is consistently ranked as one of the best airports in the country for on-time performance, customer service, and overall experience. Healthcare here is absolutely world-class. Mayo Clinic is just 90 minutes south in Rochester, but right here in the Twin Cities, we have University of Minnesota Medical Center, Abbott Northwestern, Allina Health, and several other top-tier hospital systems. If you have complex medical needs, you are in one of the best places in the country. The healthcare section I mentioned earlier is great for jobs, and it's also great for patients. We consistently rank among the top metropolitan areas for healthcare quality and access. Utilities and city services are excellent and affordable. Xcel Energy provides reliable electricity and natural gas. Water quality is outstanding. Minneapolis tap water regularly wins taste tests against bottled water brands. Internet infrastructure is great with multiple high-speed options including fiber in many areas. The winter infrastructure is something people always ask about. Yes, we get snow, but the city is incredibly efficient at snow removal. Main roads are cleared quickly, and most neighborhoods have the streets cleared within 24 hours of a major snowstorm. The Skyway system I mentioned earlier means that you can navigate downtown without dealing with weather at all. Now, one thing that surprises people is how prepared everything is for winter. Buildings are well insulated, heating systems are reliable, and people know how to dress for winter. Sorry, you might need to pack those shorts away eventually. You'll learn quickly and you'll find that winter becomes just another season to enjoy rather than something to endure. Now, before I wrap up, let me share some of the hidden gems and unique experiences that make Minneapolis special. The things that you will not find in other cities. The Minneapolis Institute of Art is free. Completely free, and houses one of the finest art collections in the country. You can spend an entire day there exploring everything from ancient artifacts to contemporary masterpieces, and it won't even cost you a penny. The Stone Arch Bridge is a beautiful converted railway bridge that spans the Minneapolis River. And lastly, the Minnesota State Fair is legendary. It is the largest state fair in the country by daily attendance, and it's basically a 2-week celebration of everything Minnesota. I mean, food on a stick, butter sculptures, agricultural competitions, amazing concerts. It is something everyone should experience at least once. And I haven't even talked about how we perfected the art of the indoor mall with the Mall of America, or how Minnesota Nice is like actually a thing that makes daily life just a little bit better. The bottom line is this: Minneapolis offers you the amenities and opportunities of a major city, the outdoor lifestyle of the Mountain West, the cultural richness of major metropolitan cities, the affordability that actually allows you to enjoy all of it, and the quality of life that comes from being in a place where people genuinely care about the community. If you're serious about making the move to Minneapolis, here's what I want you to do right now. First, hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell because I am posting new content about the Twin Cities and real estate market every week. I'm going to be sharing neighborhood spotlights and insider tips right here. Second, drop a comment below. What brought you to this video? Have you lived in Minneapolis? What do you like about living in Minneapolis? Are you already considering Minneapolis? What's your biggest concern about moving here? I do read every single comment and I will be answering all of your questions below. Third, if you're ready to start exploring homes or want a personalized neighborhood consultation, I put together a free Minneapolis guide that covers everything from neighborhoods to commute times to the best coffee shops in each neighborhood, and you can download it in the link in the description below, or you can reach me directly at 612-801-4565. All of my information is in the description below, so I would love it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to help. I personally help people relocate to Minneapolis every month, and I love to help you find your perfect home in this incredible city. Whether you're looking for a downtown loft, a family home near the lakes, or something completely different, I'll make sure you find exactly what you're looking for. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in Minneapolis soon.